Well, for more on Slack's listing and its business, I'm joined by Hatem Dhiab, live from Los Angeles, California. He's a managing partner at Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management. Welcome, Hatem.
Hi, Rachelle. How are you?
Good, thank you. So let's start by breaking this down. Why take the direct listing approach versus the traditional IPO route? What are the pros and cons there?
I like the direct listing. It's you avoid using the traditional investment bank, so it ends up basically saving you tens of millions of dollars. I think that Slack probably saved $60 or $70 million today, and then also you don't have the traditional roadshow, the dog and pony show, basically, where you have to have the investment banks trying to sell your shares ahead of your IPO. So if you're able to support the share price, I think direct listing makes sense for some companies.
Now, it's interesting because Facebook, Google, and Microsoft have their own collaborative messaging platforms. So what are the most exciting things that Slack brings to the table that a lot of these teams and companies can't already get elsewhere?
I don't know if you want to trust Facebook with your work stuff at this point. We've seen what happened. Slack has a very simple product. I think they say it's a software that you don't need, you don't know that you need, but once you have, you can't really live without. And I kind of agree with that. I've used it several times, and once you have it, it really helps you streamline. It helps you collaborate better. If you think of your kind of the workforce of the future, where we're dispersed, we're in different places, we're all digital, Slack really makes that give you the ability to collaborate in a much better way. And I don't think anybody else has done it so good.
So then, do you agree with Slack CEO Stuart Butterfield's projection that about the world of email being over as we know it currently within the next 7 years?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I hate emails, and I think most people do. It's cumbersome. It's not organized, and it's email is what, 20 years old now. So I think it's time for us to have something new. And I don't know if we'll ever do away with email. There is definitely some positive to email, but I think for the workspace and for the workplace to be more collaborative, Slack brings you some very compelling tools.
Now, you mentioned the workplace of the future, but Slack is still just reaching a sliver of traditional companies who aren't ready or willing to adapt to new platforms. Do employees actually want another means of being contacted at work?
That's a good question. I think a lot of employees just want to do good work, and they want to collaborate better. What I'm hearing, what I'm seeing out there is a lot of the adoption is actually starting from the employees, and they are the one that are saying, hey, there is a better way for us doing our jobs. And I think when you hear the Scott or some of the team speak, you have all industries are on Slack. You have newsrooms, you have money managers, you have defense, you have pastry makers. So I think communicating in the workplace is just good. And as millennials who grew up on digital platforms kind of become the main workforce, I think you're going to see more tools like this being more prevalent.
And as speaking of more tools, we know that Zoom also had its IPO recently. How is this trend of collaborative messaging software being welcomed by investors?
Yeah, I mean, Zoom has done really well, very well received. The stock is up, I don't know, 100% or so. And Slack really is kind of in the same area, right? It's a software that it's a tool that helps these new workplaces do their jobs better. So you're going to see more of these companies come out, and you're going to see them do really well, because I think everyone understands that the world is changing, and we need more resources.
So then, in terms of profitability and growth, what can we expect from Slack, and do you see any potential hurdles?
So I think that's the caveat. As much as I love the company and the product, it's going to be a while before they're profitable. They did 600 million in revenue, I think, or they will do 600 million in revenue. They're not making any money. They're burning through about 100 million in cash. So it's going to take a while for them to be profitable, and they have to have a lot of adoption. And obviously there is competition on the horizon. Microsoft being really a good competitor. They have a product already, and I think as other companies see the opportunity, there's going to be more competition. So it's going to be tough.
All right. Hatem Dhiab there, Managing Partner at Gerber Kawasaki Wealth and Investment Management. Thanks so much.